but we're going to attach it to a story of a Baal Shem Tov which I've never said. So you see what happens is that this week's parasha talks about the hardest commandment to keep, which is V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Parshas Kedoshim talks about love your fellow Jew just like yourself. Now, if you want to know the importance of this mitzvah, two statements. One is from Hillel and one is from Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva says, Ze klal gadol beTorah. It's a big general rule in the Torah. In the Torah, you have, detailed rules and you have general rules. This is a general rule because if you love your fellow just like yourself, practically you're going to keep everything between bein Adam lechaveiro. Anything the Torah says you should do or shouldn't do to your friend is included in these three words. You have to l'reacha kamocha. So it's a general mitzvah, but not just a general mitzvah, klal gadol, a huge one. You find even more than this. Hillel says in the Gemara Shabbos that this is the entire Torah, and the rest is only an explanation. That's what he told the convert. Start keeping the Torah. Do what's hateful to you. Don't do to your friend, and learn the explanations later. Anyways, there's a very famous Ramban, Nun Ramban. Everybody brings it. He has a question: how could God command us to love our fellow Jew just like ourselves? It's impossible. Naturally, I love myself more. And since God created me with such nature, how could God ask me something that it's impossible to keep? First question of the Ramban. Second question, he brings the Gemara against this commandment of the Torah. I'm sure you guys know this Gemara. Two people stuck in the desert, they only have one bottle of water. If they're going to share it, they will both die. But if one of them takes it, he's going to stay alive. Unfortunately, the second guy will die. What is he supposed to do? So halachas like Rabbi Akiva that says chayecha kodmin, your life comes first. So whoever owns the bottle of water, he's supposed to drink it because your life comes first. So the Ramban says, if I'm supposed to love the other person just like myself, Rabbi Akiva should have said, either take the water for yourself or give it to your friend. From the fact that he says your life comes first, proves that I could love myself more than the other person. Because of this, the Ramban comes with a big chidush. He says this mitzvah is an exaggeration. If I would tell you keeping Shabbat is an exaggeration, would you accept it? Of course not. It's simple, man. Don't do any work. Here the Ramban says because of these two questions, this mitzvah is exaggerated. Okay, it's exaggerated. What is the meaning of the mitzvah? So the Ramban says it's you can't control your heart. In your heart, you could love yourself more. But when it comes to treat your friend, the way you talk to him, the way you treat him exactly just like yourself. That we can do. So as regarding our talk, our treatment, you should treat him just like yourself, but in your heart you could love yourself more. That's the Ramban. As we know, the Arizal disagrees with the Ramban, and the reason because the Ramban is explaining the Torah in a simple explanation. All of us are limited to our bodies, unfortunately. The soul is in jail in the body many times. And because of that, since our bodies are separated, so everybody is a stranger to me because you're an outsider, you're not me. So if you look at the limitations of the body, yes, I could love myself more. I just have to treat you just like myself. As we know, the Arizal that actually introduced or actually expounded explanations of Kabbalah, he talks about from the point of view of the neshama, of the soul, not the body. He comes with the chidush that all our neshamot are one. All of us together make the neshama of the first man, Adam Arishon. His neshama was all inclusive. How do you know that? Because when he sinned, he brought death to the whole world, right? We know that everybody dies for his own sins. If Adam sinned, why am I dying? Let him die. I wasn't there. So the answer is that Arizal gives his neshama included everyone, everybody. So our souls were part of him. That's why when he sinned, it brought catastrophe to the whole world. Each one of us is like a small limb that together make one big, gigantic spiritual body. Understand that? It's actually a Gemara. The Gemara in Yerushalmi says that let's say you're banging a nail or something, and by mistake, you put the hammer on your left hand. The left hand will never take a hammer and put it back on the right hand because it's the same body. So from the Yerushalmi, you see one Jew is the right hand, one Jew is the left hand, meaning we have one part of a huge body. We find also another medrash that the medrash says before Adam's neshama came into his body, God showed Adam all the future generations. And he said, you see, this tzaddik is connected to your head. You see, the other tzaddik is connected to your heart. We all know the physical body of Adam is in Marat HaMachpelah, next to Avraham Avinu. So how could you say that this soul is connected, this tzaddik is connected to his head? We're talking about the neshama. Again, the leaders of the generation are connected to the head of Adam Arishon. So you see, he's including everybody. More than that, guys. It says that actually in every Jew, you have every part of every other Jewish neshama. And the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Lubavitch Rebbe, proves it very interestingly. If I'm going to tell you in your hand, you have the life force of the entire body, it's a true statement because your life force is in your blood. The same blood that goes into your hand goes through your feet. It's not a different blood. So in the hand, you have the chayes, you have the life force of the foot. So in the hand, you have the foot, basically. Just make sure you don't put your foot into your mouth. The rest of it is okay. Just don't think to say nothing serious. You have to understand, Persians have funny way of saying jokes. I was taken out of Persia, but they didn't take the Persia out of me. It's a problem. The accent is still there. So when you go on a date and you have an accent, either you say, uy, or you're going to say, that means I speak a second language. That's why I have an accent. So it's wonderful. Correct? No problem. Anyway, so from this, we see that the same thing regarding Jews. Within you, there is part of the soul of every other Jew. Just like in the hand, you have the life force of the entire body. Is that clear? If that's the case, now we understand what the Torah says. Love your fellow just like yourself. Because when I love somebody else, I'm not loving somebody else. He's another limb of the big spiritual body. If Chas v'Shalom, I hate somebody, it's like I'm hating part of myself. It's like the right hand hating left hand. It doesn't make any sense at all. So the Arizal teaches us, go beyond your physical body. Look at the neshama. The bodies are separated. But someone that goes above the body, he's not limited to it. He sees from the point of view of the neshama, then actually loving another Jew, you love yourself. You're not sacrificing yourself by loving somebody else. You're expanding yourself by loving somebody else. It's very interesting. Total opposite. I just wanted to share one last story of the Baal Shem Tov. You know, his love for another fellow Jew was tremendous. I never shared this story. I don't think so. It's actually like a Purim story. Sorry that you're almost 2 months late. What happens is, you know, Baal Shem Tov had a chassid that he didn't have any children. When he got very, very old and his wife was very old, they asked a blessing from the Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov blessed them. They had a baby boy. Before the kid became bar mitzvah, the father knew he's about to die. He felt it. So he came to the Baal Shem Tov and he said, Baal Shem Tov, this child is your blessing. I can't take care of him anymore. I'm begging you, raise my kid. You know, it's a very bold statement. He gives you a blessing and it's okay, take your blessing back. Take care of my kid. Baal Shem Tov accepted it. He made a bar mitzvah for him. This kid was gifted with a beautiful voice. He was like an excellent chazan, excellent singer. So the Baal Shem Tov, you know, taught him bar mitzvah and he actually find him a shidduch too. That's the best shidduch, right? Baal Shem Tov, tzaddikim find you a shidduch. Anyways, one day when the boy was bar mitzvah, in middle of, guys, let's pay attention. In the middle of the night, Baal Shem Tov wakes up the kid and he says, we got to go somewhere. He takes him middle of the night to a cave. And in the cave, you had these pirates, these, you know, Ganovim, these robbers. And you could see from their faces, the cruel people. So Baal Shem Tov goes in that these guys don't do anything. And he puts this boy on a stone in the cave. And he says, sing for them. He sang the song that we sing on Purim, Shoshanat Yaakov, right? After the finishing of the Megillah. So Shoshana, I don't know what the song is. I mean, Ashkenaz is a very interesting song. I never learned it. So anyways, he sang Shoshanat Yaakov for them. And all these robbers were enjoying it. They were clapping and they said, hooray to him. Anyways, after a while singing, Baal Shem Tov says, time to go. So he takes the boy home. So the boy didn't understand, why did the Baal Shem Tov entertain robbers? What's the point of it? He didn't understand it. Anyways, years went and Baal Shem Tov died. This kid came out to be a very successful businessman. He would go, you know, buy things and sell things, take a whole suitcase of cash back home. So on one of the trips that he was going home, he was going through the forest. So the robbers came and they attacked him. They took him to his hiding place and opened up this suitcase. Said, let's see what kind of a big fish we got this time. And they see the suitcase is full of money. And they say, okay, you know what? So awesome, we're going to kill you. The guy says, please, don't kill me. Let me go home. All the money is yours. And they say, oh, you think we're stupid? If we let you go, you're going to go to the police station and they're going to find our hiding. We have to kill you. But it says one thing we're going to let you do. Do your last wish. So the kid didn't know. He starts singing Shoshanat Yaakov. He just starts singing and singing. And then one of the head of these robbers, believe it or not, was a Jewish guy. and he was sitting, behind at the end of the cave. And he says, "Hold on, where did I hear this music before?" And he's thinking. He says, "Guys, do you remember? Wasn't this that boy that holy man one time brought him and he sang for us the same song? And we had such enjoyable time. How could we kill him? Give him his money and let him go." And that's exactly what happened. So this kid realized why the Baal Shem Tov, when he just turned Bar Mitzvah, took him to the cave in order to sing for these robbers, because he saw one day there's going to be caught for them. But this is the greatness of the Baal Shem Tov. Because he had Ruach HaKodesh, he was able to see the future. What can I do to help another person? So that power we don't have. Unless you know something which our brains understands. Yeah, many times Rosh Yeshivas, they see you could be a big Talmid Chacham, man. So we're going to pay for your tuition. You know what I'm saying? Some kids, even no matter what it is, they do it because they see it. But again, to see the future, what's going to happen to you, only Baal Shem Tov could see. By the way, it was the same happened to me also. When I went to yeshiva, we had no money, and the principal wanted to kick us out. The Rosh Yeshiva said, "No, these are my kids; they're going to stay." And I ended up to be a rabbi. That's enough. So really, she'll be alive. Rabbi Shachar is not 81, 82 years old. But when he was in his youth, he said, "These are my kids. I'm going to keep them in yeshiva. We can't kick them out." So again, he saw the future. Somebody who learns Torah could become, a rabbi in the community. But Baal Shem Tov used that